Ladies and gentlemen, if it weren't for the next two superstars in our showcase, none of this would be possible. Because without Alpha and Sika, without the wild Samoans, there truly is no dynasty. While it was their father who made the blood oath with High Chief Peter Maivia, it was Afa and Sika who built the family up, training generations of relatives, all with the single goal of becoming the best professional wrestler on the face of the planet. And while the two would together be WWE Hall of Famers, based solely on their work as trainers and cultivators of the next generation, their in-ring successes only add to their immortality. Afa and Sika formed WWE's most dominant tag team of the early 1980s, fighting their way to the WWE Tag Team Championship on 3 separate occasions. Opponents were often defeated before the bell even rang to start the match, falling victim to the aura and the intimidation factor of having to step into the ring with the Wild Samoans, accompanied by Captain Lou Albano. The trio formed a masterful group that was able to take all opponents off their game, be it through Albano's devious schemes or the overpowering nature of the Wild Samoans. WWE had never dealt with a team so primal, turning each match into a battle of survival. Most feared, the deadly Samoan drop, a move that has been imitated by many, but duplicated only by a chosen few.
There they are, the Wild Samoans.
These are immigrants coming from the island, trying to figure it out, trying to find a way. I couldn't imagine being these men. I couldn't imagine taking on these responsibilities of setting the tone in a whole new country. And then trying to break into entertainment on top of that. But they made it work. And that's what we are. We're workers. We make it work.
These tribal elders set the standard for all of their descendants to not only follow, but they also taught their descendants how to surpass it. So beloved were the two that perhaps no moment holds more significance to your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, than when he was presented the Ula Fala by his father Sika and Uncle Afa after the 2020 Hell in a Cell event. You see, it was their acknowledgement that gave Roman Reigns the unshakable confidence to continue his journey to becoming the greatest of all time.
The utmost respect, love, and gratitude for those men. Because if my father and uncle don't do what they do, we're not here.
We now humbly present to you the honor of walking in the famed footsteps of the Wild Samoans, finding a tag team in WWE's long and storied history that we felt would test the Wild Samoans was not an easy task. But then, a thought came to your wise man. why not give the audience exactly what they want? Why not put the Wild Samoans against one of the greatest tag teams of all time? Why not present Afa, Sika, the Wild Samoans versus Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boys? And if we're going to go that far, let's do it in a tables match. Showcase that savage brutality that made both teams the eternal legends we know them to be. No pinfalls, no submissions, no rules. Just be the team that avoids being put through the table, and you will emerge victorious. And with these four men, you better believe that things are going to get extreme.
And here they come. Bubba Ray and Devon are ready for a fight.
That's just what they'll get from Afa and Sika, and then some.
The following contest is a tag team tables match. And a combined weight of 603 pounds. Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boys.
It takes a strong brotherly bond to agree to go into battle against the Wild Samoans, but that's exactly what Bubba Ray and Devon have.
I have a strong feeling this match isn't going to be for the faint of heart.
Oh, look, the Dudley Boys may not be all there in the head, but they're easily the most highly decorated tag team in pro wrestling history. They've beaten the best, they've beaten the toughest, and they're ready to come in and beat the wildest tonight.
Both the Dudley Boys and the Wild Samoans are coming into this tables match with something to prove. Who's the best tag team of all time? Who's the more cohesive, brotherly unit?
Who's more savage? Who's more extreme? Gentlemen, we are moments away from finding out the answers to these questions once and for all.
Guys, this is going to be a great one. You can feel the electricity already.
I feel the excitement and some fear, too.
By Captain Lou Alabama. And a combined weight of 645 pounds. Afa and Sika, the Wild Samoans.
This tables match might be a dream match for many, but for both the Wild Samoans and the Dudley Boys, this is about to be one team's greatest nightmare.
Afa and Sika clearly not looking to back down here.
The Dudleys can certainly handle their own, but they've never faced anyone or anything like the Wild Samoans.
Those mean looks on both Afa and Sika's faces. I'll tell you, they're out for blood. And the Dudleys are about to walk right into the lion's den.
Here's the bell, and it's the Wild Samoans. Afa and Sika taking out Devon and Bubba Ray Dudley. The Dudley Boys.
Two sets of brothers, two sets of absolute madmen, ready to get the tables and get downright savage.
Bringing a new definition to the term sibling rivalry. This one will get extremely physical.
Corey, I've got to know, what can the Wild Samoans do to get the advantage in this tables match? After all, this is the Dudley Boys match, the match they put on the map, the match they're synonymous with.
Maybe the Wild Samoans have to be a little less wild, Cole. They still need to brutalize their opponents because that's what they do best. But the last thing Afa and Sika want to do is rush head first into a table. After all, that's exactly how you lose.
Such a peculiar look coming from the Wild Samoans, as if they have no control of their animalistic behavior. And the Wild Samoans always have that gaze in their eyes, that look that makes you question their understanding of their surroundings.
Yeah, and I have to wonder if Alpha and Sika are even aware of what the tables are for. I'm afraid they'll just keep on dishing out punishment, expecting a bell to eventually ring.
Looks like he's got something in mind for ringside here. Trying to wrestle free their opponent's arm, had the arm trapped.
Oh, stop right to the hand.
That was a showing of control and aggression, something they'll want to keep up.
Ooh, that's how you dominate your opponent.
Just got thrown around like a sack of you-know-what. Focusing on a body part, picking it apart. The arm's as good of a place to focus as any. Yikes, that'll either wake you up or knock you out.
Corey, the Wild Samoans are last time to win as they come a very physical duo. You've seen them underneath their hits, almost like a concrete weapon.
Yeah, they don't need much flash. They're just a formidable ground and pound team. If they lack it offense. Incredible! The Wild Samoans just completely wrecking the Dudley Boys in there.
And Sika, no reflexes to answer for that.
Yeah, this is the hostility Devon Dudley wanted to win.
Back into the ring. Double axe handle. Turns it the punch.
Down to Odin. And a double axe handle smash.
Alpha's attacking from every angle.
And the Wild Samoans aren't going to let the Dudley Boys take over in this match.
It seems like this match is becoming something of an uphill battle for him.
We're about to see a body go through a table real soon.
Taken to the floor, and he's got no worries about the count. He could be starting to really struggle in this match.
They have tried their hardest to avoid damage, but I think the table might be coming into play sooner rather than later. He's got a plan for that table, and it does not involve a dinner party. Oh, no. It looks like that busted him open pretty bad.
Taking this forward.
They for sure answer yes to every question that makes up a scary tag team. Yes, they're rough. Yes, they're tough. Yes, they will maim. Yes, they will hurt. And yes, they will not. Incredible!
Alpha and Sika might have just shown us the prelude to the Dudley's demise.
Headed to the outside. Cena just beat the Dudley Boys at their own game.
Here are your winners, Alpha and Sika, the Wild Samoans.
And it's the Wild Samoans standing tall, having beat the Dudley Boys at their own game.
Devon and Bubba pushed Alpha and Sika to their limits, but in the end, there was only one way this match could end.
From the very moment he arrived as the enforcer of the bloodline, Solo Sikoa has taken every brutal, savage element of his predecessors and refined them into a near-perfect smashing machine. Even in the year before his arrival, Solo raised eyebrows and garnered buzz while competing in NXT. But nobody could have predicted just how smoothly his transition to the main roster would go. And before I go on any further, let me make one thing perfectly clear. I'm only saying what I'm saying about Solo Sikoa because I am a wise man. I'm a professional. And because I'm being handsomely compensated for my stellar work as your host of the WWE 2K25 showcase. I haven't forgotten what Solo Sikoa and his rogue bloodline did to me. but I also know better than to let personal feelings hinder your professional endeavors. So with that being said, since his arrival at Clash at the Castle in 2022, Solo Sikoa has consistently been involved in WWE's biggest moments and biggest matches. He's been victorious in War Games. He's repeatedly enforced the Bloodline's will to maintain Roman Reigns' status as undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion.
I brought Solo in as an insurance policy. Solo was here to protect me. Solo was here to maintain the promised land. He's violent. He's strong, he's fast, he's all those things. And he betrayed me. Any man who would betray me must be a very dangerous man.
Solo defeated John Cena. Solo elected to betray your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, in an attempt to bestow upon himself the title of tribal chief. When I refused to acknowledge Solo as my tribal chief, you are not my tribal. He, Tamatonga, Tongaloa, and Jacob Fatu put me through a table in Madison Square Garden. And that led to opportunities to compete for the undisputed WWE Heavyweight Championship. It's led to more visibility with Solo's Rogue Bloodline ruling over SmackDown. Every choice Solo made only furthered his standing in WWE. He has the bloodlust of the wild Samoans, the brutality of his cousin Yokozuna, and the single-minded focus of Roman Reigns, all rolled into one. There is no question the future is his for the taking, and that he will be champion many times over, and that he may set records of his own before it's all said and done. Few men have so quickly served notice to all of WWE in the manner that Solo Sikoa has done. Whether you want to acknowledge him or not is irrelevant. One way or another, Solo Sikoa forces you to do just that, or you will suffer severe consequences. One by one, each and every single superstar on the WWE roster is going to find that out. Solo will make sure of it. I, of course, will simply await any and every opportunity for your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, to teach Solo some manners. Until that happens, though, we are taking you back to the one-year anniversary special for NXT 2.0, which saw then North American champion Carmelo Hayes, and indeed, he is him, issue an open challenge. Unfortunately for the future superstar, it was to be answered by Solo Sikoa, and things went as well for Hayes as you can probably guess. Showcase the unrelenting fury that has made Solo Sikoa nearly unstoppable, and defeat Carmelo Hayes to earn Solo his first championship victory. It won't be easy against Carmelo, especially when he has Trick Williams watching his back. And if you make one mistake against the champ, he'll take his shot and most likely hit nothing but
Here comes the A-Champ.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT North American Championship. Accompanied by Trick Williams, he is the NXT North American Champion, Carmelo Hayes.
Mello and Trick looking so pleased with themselves after attacking Wes Lee.
NXT 2.0 celebrating its first anniversary, all thanks to amazing talent like this man.
Hayes has a look right now. He probably thinks he's getting the night off and another day on his North American title reign.
Well, after what Mello and Trick just did to Wes Lee, who's going to have the guts to step up and take Lee's place?
What? This place is shaking!
We never thought we'd see Sikoa again.
From Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 250 pounds, Solo Sikoa!
And Solo is dressed to fight, too. I really didn't think we'd see him again.
We saw him at Clash at the Castle 10 days ago where he cost Drew McIntyre the WWE Universal Championship.
Well, as far as I'm personally concerned, Sikoa isn't welcome around here. Mello needs the night off.
Well, Mello talks about wearing the biggest crown in the WWE, but it's Sikoa who sits at the biggest table in WWE.
Well, he wasn't exactly invited to sit at this table now, was he?
We said to expect the unexpected. Is this title match going to happen?
As we say in WWE, expect the unexpected. We expected Wes Lee to be Carmelo Hayes' opponent here, but instead, we have the surprise return of Solo Sikoa as he's claimed his title opportunity.
Solo Sikoa, fresh off joining the bloodline, is here. He has answered the call, and we indeed have an NXT North American title defense tonight for NXT 2.0's one-year celebration.
You got to imagine that Roman Reigns, the Usos, even Paul Heyman are watching this match closely right now.
Oh, absolutely, Cole. We're talking about the man who has held the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship for 744 days. And the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, the Usos, who have held those titles for 422 days.
Record-breaking reigns of both singles and tag team competition. If Solo captures the North American title tonight, who knows how long he'll keep it for?
Oh, no, he can be caught here. Bad spot. And reach the rope to the submission.
Oh, and soon we could be seeing a submission here. The Road's coming to the rescue here.
That's using your head. Did you see Mello's reaction when Sikoa's music hit? Hayes looked like he saw a ghost.
Solo's been saying he got next for the North American Championship. That was a long time ago. Mello thought Sikoa was in his rearview mirror.
These two men took part in a triple threat for the North American title back at Spring Break and 5 months ago.
On the apron. Whoa, what a landing.
Carmelo,
Wait, trouble here. Can he get it fully locked in?
Targeting the shoulder with the claw.
Submission is in tight, but is this the escape and a takedown?
Hayes, he's thinking big.
We'll take things from way up.
Oh, my!
Looking to end this thing.
Can they step through? Yes. Boston Crab, the legendary Boston Crab. Mello is in trouble.
Trying to free himself, trips the ankle, and he's out. And kicks off his opponent.
Springboard, but nobody home.
Strong words from Carmelo Hayes before this match saying, quote, heavy is the head that wears the crown, and Mello has the biggest crown and the heaviest head.
Mello has in
shoes in your head. Solo continues to maintain the advantage.
And it looks like Solo has all the answers for Carmelo at this point.
Solo lining it up, maybe moments away from capturing that North American title.
Caught with that sharp elbow. Carmelo's finally able to slow all that incoming offense.
Hayes was being tested and was finally able to get some offense of his own in. Title in the balance with the pin.
What the? Sikoa is the new champion.
Here is your winner, and new NXT North American Champion, Solo Sikoa!
Solo is your new champion. It is the North American title now going to SmackDown. This has to be the most unpredictable era in WWE history.
You know Sikoa was given his marching...
I ain't doing this one. We can have all the fun we want with these video games and this showcase and these fantasy matchups like Offensica versus Bubba Ray and Diva. But I'm not doing shtick about Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. That's a little too volatile. And it's way too personal for Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins came up together in the Shield. And Seth Rollins took it upon himself to disband the Shield by blindsiding Roman Reigns with a chair. At WrestleMania 31, Roman Reigns, in the main event of WrestleMania, was about to win the WWE title when Seth Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank and stole the main event, the match, and the title from Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns lost the undisputed championship after almost 4 years, the greatest title reign of all time, to Cody Rhodes. Not because Cody Rhodes was the better man, but because Seth Rollins was right there. And the give up. And for the first time in Roman Reigns' life, he took his eye off the ball for that much time and smashed Seth Rollins with a chair, the same way Seth did a decade earlier to Roman title reign in WWE history. I'm supposed to do shtick about Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for a showcase? I mean, it's smart, because the next time Roman Reigns steps into the ring with Seth Rollins will be the last time Seth Rollins steps into a ring. Next time Roman Reigns gets his hands on Seth Rollins, you won't have your architect anymore. You won't have your visionary anymore. You won't have your revolutionary anymore. You will have your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, but you'll never again have Seth freaking Rollins. Roman Reigns will put an end to Seth Rollins in WWE. And then the only way you'll ever be able to see Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins will be in the WWE 2K25 showcase. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins from the 2022 Royal Rumble. And that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
The big question as we kick off Royal Rumble, will Roman survive tonight?
Well, the man who's walking down the aisle here in front of 44,000 plus is the greatest champion of all time, transcending the business. And tonight, it's personal. For 17 months, Roman Reigns has dominated everyone. And luckily for Roman, he's had a special counsel and his cousins to help him keep cool, keep focused, and concentrate on the business at hand.
Now Paul Heyman is gone, and the Usos are barred from ringside. And without those calming forces, Corey, cracks started to form last night in Roman's armor.
No telling how Roman's going to handle things on his own. It's been years since he competed on his own. But that's the situation we're seeing right now for the Tribal Chief. In recent weeks, Seth Rollins touched on the one thing that Roman Reigns has not been able to get over: the dissolution of the Shield at the hands of Seth Rollins.
Roman Reigns is a loyal man, a family man, and what Seth Rollins did to his family was cowardly in the eyes of the head of the table, the Tribal Chief, the man who is blessed by the gods of sports entertainment.
Corey, on SmackDown last night, we saw one thing that we haven't seen out of Roman Reigns. We saw Roman Reigns lose his cool.
Even more mind games from Rollins. As we heard that music pop right there, the Shield, you can't help but have a little nostalgia. You can't help but think back to the glory days of when the Shield would go to town, beating everybody down.
Until that man right there, Seth freaking Rollins, decided to tear it apart.
Seth Rollins says he knows Roman Reigns so well. He knows how to prey on the insecurities of the Universal Champion. He knew there was one thing that Reigns will never get over, and that is that Seth Rollins chose to end the Shield.
The infamous blow to the back of Roman Reigns with a steel chair many years ago, which broke up perhaps the greatest faction in WWE history. Well, tonight, Rollins will use that to get in the head of the champ and win the Universal title.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the Universal Championship. Introducing the challenger from Davenport, Iowa, weighing in at 217 pounds, Seth and his opponent from Pensacola, weighing in at 265 pounds, he is the Universal Champion,
And that title, the WWE Universal Championship, has been in Reigns' possession for a record-breaking 516 days. Can he extend the reign even further tonight? The Royal Rumble Premium Live event kicks off with a match between two former brothers. Roman Reigns in his record 516-day reign as Universal Champion versus Seth Rollins, donning the old gear that they used to wear in the Shield.
Rollins looks very comfortable in that tactical vest yet again.
But he's even more comfortable inside the head of the tribal chief. We haven't seen Roman with this type of look, this type of confusion in 500+ days.
Oh, man.
Gentlemen, for 17 months, Roman Reigns has dominated. He had special
To the sky. You gotta be kidding me.
Coming down on their opponent like a sack of bricks.
action now spilling to the ringside area in front of us here. Seth is being overwhelmed.
The power and rate.
Oh, he got him. Is he gonna lock this in?
Look at the angle here.
This looks nasty. And I don't know if fighting the hold is making things even worse.
A single leg camel clutch and a great counter. Super kick. Roman certainly seems out of his comfort zone right now, guys.
Reigns in his comfort zone aren't even in the same zip code tonight, Cole. Unless he can snap out of it fast, he's going to make a mistake that Rollins will capitalize on.
Rollins dodges in the nick of time.
And the wise man, Paul Heyman, will be at ringside for a championship match tonight, just not this one.
That's just sickening to me, Cole. Reigns had just cause for firing the wise man, and now Paul's right back with his old client. Heyman has zero loyalty to the bloodline.
Okay, Corey, did you forget the fact that Roman attacked Heyman? Anyway, Reigns just needs to forget all of that tonight. Rollins is already playing extra mind games in this match. Reigns cannot let Paul Heyman's actions affect him.
That could have done some serious damage. Even before Seth put his gear on, he came into this match with a clear-cut advantage.
You're right, Cole. 1 week ago on SmackDown, Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens defeated the Usos. Takedown. Remember the crossface gets cinched in. This could be over. The end. We're going to free the arm and does just that.
He right to the midsection. Setting them up for the Falcon Arrow.
Look at this, just unloading. And a stop to the gut, too. Smart strategy by him.
Single leg drop kick caught him.
Reigns so close to finishing finishing this, he can taste it. Ending Rollins and closing the book on the Shield will be his biggest victory yet. Right in the breadbasket.
He's got a mind to count out rules as he heads ringside.
From the top.
Looks like he knew what was coming up.
Here it comes. Vengeance pedigree.
Seth with a big move there. The title is within reach. Ooh, right to the arm.
Well-placed elbow to break up the maneuver.
Right to the face.
He's really pushing the limit here, getting close to a count out. Rollins being put on the guillotine. This is the biggest danger Seth has faced.
This is the tightest I've ever seen Roman squeezed.
Tab all you want, but in this case, the surrender does not grant you a reprieve. And Reigns retains the title.
I'm the last guy to knock a revolution. I've led a few of those, you know. I admire revolutionaries. I respect evolutionaries. They are the lifeblood of the bloodline. So when Solo Sikoa seized the moment and became the tribal chief in Roman Reigns' absence, I didn't like it. I don't even think I respected it. But something deep down in me admired it. That took some forward thinking.
I'm the chief now!
Now we all know what happened when the OG bloodline, led by Roman Reigns, faced the new rogue bloodline, led by Solo Sikoa, in the War Games. But there was a discussion here while planning the WWE 2K25 showcase that has me, your wise man, admittedly a little intrigued. What if War Games was limited to only OG bloodline, no honorary uses, versus Solo's rogue bloodline, no honorary uses? It's 4-on-4 Roman Reigns. The Usos, Sami Zayn, versus Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and the most dangerous new competitor WWE has ever seen, the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu. What happens then? This is your moment to determine who is the real bloodline. This is your moment to determine who is the only bloodline. This is where the bloodline's legacy and the bloodline's future is in your hands.
The following contest is the men's War Games match. The rules of the match are as follows. Two teams will be contained in separate cages, with one member of each team starting the match. At regular intervals, alternating members from each team will be released to enter the match. The team with the advantage will be the first to have a member released into the match. Once all competitors have entered, War Games officially begins! The match can be won by pinfall or submission. Exiting the cage will result in a forfeit. And now, let the War Games begin!
The bloodline is in chaos. This wrestling dynasty is on the brink of collapse.
This conflict goes far beyond acknowledgement, Michael. This man and the original bloodline are fighting for their livelihood.
Introducing first, from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 242 pounds, main event, Jey Uso!
This man and the rest of the original bloodline is under attack. The new bloodline will do whatever it takes to wipe out the old guard.
But this man and the rest of his crew will not go down without a fight. This is a power struggle that could not be contained by a traditional 20-by-20 ring. He's ready to bring the heavy fire to the new bloodline.
The original bloodline was created with the wisdom of the elders, but this man and the new bloodline are destroying what was built.
Well, this conflict was unfathomable until now. The new bloodline is ready to hunt.
And from Sacramento, California, weighing in at 285 pounds, the Samoan werewolf, Jacob.
The new bloodline does not live by a code. They do not act with honor. This man says the OG bloodline will suffer the consequences of their disloyalty.
We are looking at a heavy hitter with pure malice in his eyes.
And he's looking to make his name at the expense of the old guard of the bloodline.
The OG bloodline have never faced a threat like this.
The island of relevancy is no more. The OG bloodline is fighting bloodthirsty savages who will feast on whatever they can.
There will be no hesitation in pulling the trigger, and the OGs have got to match that ferocity.
And gentlemen, it is time for Bloodline War Games. Roman Reigns, the Usos, and Sami Zayn versus Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu.
Both of these sides have a deep and abiding hatred for one another. Solo felt he was held down. His crew never called up during Roman's time as the tribal chief.
But most of the men on Roman's side were unceremoniously removed from the bloodline courtesy of Solo Sikoa. And those who weren't have faced continued attacks from the new bloodline.
And the winners tonight are very likely to be considered the true bloodline by the WWE Universe. Let's see who comes out on top tonight.
He gets out of the way.
Sami Zayn grew so much as a member of the bloodline, it really gave him a sense of self-worth.
Yeah, but part of that self-worth came from defying Roman, from defeating the Usos, which begs the question, and I wish there was a better way to phrase this. Is Sami Zayn still Usi?
I think he is, Corey. Sami seems elated to be fighting alongside Jey and even Jimmy. Those are his dogs.
Jey puts a stop to that. Oh, did you hear that? He may have just slowed Jacob down. Here it comes. Stay away from the worm. The tequila sunrise.
He can tap all he wants now, but he won't do a thing. War Games hasn't even...
How in the world do you get this? I guess just like that. This War Games just got Usi. Zayn joining the original bloodline side. And a big right. Solo Sikoa, leader of the new bloodline, has called himself at the head of the table, called himself Tribal Chief.
And when he asked the WWE Universe to acknowledge him, we're hearing more and more of the crowd agree. The Solo has grown in power with big wins and title reigns, but this is his biggest test yet. If his crew can defeat Romans, Sikoa will be everything he says he is and more.
Before War Games officially starts, what do you guys think is the key to the old school bloodline coming out on top?
Every one of these men is a proven main eventer, Michael, but that...
Here we go! Oh!
Being stalked, being measured, and clueless to it all. Ooh!
I think tonight's going to be a breakout performance for Jacob Fatu. So much raw talent in that young man.
Every bloodline member, new and old, is a generational athlete. But Jacob seems to be a step ahead of every one of these men at times. Many are going to believe Jacob can take the mantle as the leader of the bloodline. If he's the one to earn the victory tonight, his time as the Tribal Chief may come sooner than anyone thinks.
He's looking defenseless at this stage.
And in these situations, it's hard to not get desperate, to start going for Hail Mary plays.
These will get back to an even playing field with the next entrant.
Tonga Loa now entering the fray of Bloodline War Games. He's zoning in, has something big in store. Oh, look out! It's handled from the middle rope. Ooh!
8 men in this war, but one seems to be fighting his own internal battle. That man, Jimmy Uso.
He's calling out Team Roman, but this might be an instance of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Jimmy had clashes with Roman. He went to war with his brother Jay, but the men who put Jimmy on the shelf. Jacob Fatu got a problem here.
That hit connects from Sami Zayn.
Oh my Lord!
Just like that, Sami has stopped. If there's one man here with the most to prove, it's got to be Tonga.
We've often seen that the man with the most to prove ends up being the difference maker in war games. Many folks say Tonga Loa is just a foot soldier for Solo. But let's not forget, this man is the son of Haku. Just like his father, Tonga Loa truly excels at war.
To no longer be liftoff.
Old bloodline, new bloodline, both sides engaging in a brutal battle. Every one of these men is fighting with every fiber of their being to be considered a true bloodline. He can put you in the ring tonight.
Gotta be a bit tough for Jay to stand up amongst this team. Some close allies, but some enemies he's yet to forgive.
We've seen the wars that Jay has waged with his cousin Roman, with his brother Jimmy, but he needs to put that aside tonight. And Jay has the title wins and big victories that earn him the main event moniker. But if he's the one that can rule the game, he will truly be the main event of War Games. Solo Sikoa took his spot. He says he's the new Tribal Chief. Back-to-back attacks. Tonga looking to get wild inside War Games alongside his bloodline. This is certainly an effective use of the object. And over back, Jacob Fatu's in he just has to stay out after that.
Jimmy picking spots out for weeks. Oh, the torque on the knee. Rolling through. A couple of kicks will break it.
Isn't official yet, so all we're seeing here is a systematic tear of the torque on the knee.
Rolling through now. Couple of kicks will break it. Start finishing. Engine working. He's climbing the turnbuckles to the top. We're going to see the big here.
Tonga Loa has taken a lot of damage on his face, and it's showing now.
Roman's original Bloodline crew found a way to work together and reestablish their dominance.
You may not know who your brother or enemy is by their last name, but when you're in battle, look to your left, look to your right.
Okay, a little bit out of character for your wise man, but that was a little bit difficult for me to watch.
The Islanders is